Good morning, everyone. My name is Shabalala. I work for an organization called Footballers for Life. We do life skills and wellness. My experience is in correctional facilities. We've been working in correctional facilities for the past 8 years. So, I don't know if you can introduce it.
Alex Van Heffer. I have the chair of social security here at the Wits School of Governance.
Should I start? Okay, my idea is around correctional facilities and their clients in terms of trying to make sure that we use the experience the offenders have around issues of crime. Whereby, we find there are organized crimes that are happening in our country currently, and these guys have got the experience. They know exactly where and how these crimes are committed. So why can't we, as a nation, use their expertise while they are incarcerated to make sure that we defend or we stop these other crimes from actually happening? I just want to share a story. In fact, when this call came about to say there's this idea that needs to be presented, I had this idea 3 years ago when I felt I was a victim of, my car was stolen from my house in Albertine, and it was driven to Soweto somewhere. Fortunately, it had a tracker device in it. But it took about 45 minutes. When they found the car, it was stripped, everything had been taken out, the sound system, everything was out. So, but because of my experience of working in correctional facilities, because now I have these relationships with these offenders, so they tell me all these kind of things. How a crime is committed, if a car is stolen, this is where it goes, this is how it happens. So they are so organized in a way that there's people that specializes in, say, VW models. There's people that specialize in, say, Toyota models. There's people that specializes in wheels, like make wheels, people that specialize in sound system. So because of my experience, because when the police found my car, it was stripped. My sound system was gone, and I really loved my sound system. So I went into some of my contacts, and they actually directed me to where my sound system was. So you can imagine if we can use some of these resources to actually fight crime, I think we will have one half the battle in terms of crime. Thank you very much.
Childline, they say. It's similar to a show called Breakout Kings, where they use criminals to actually arrest and find other escaped criminals. But what I wanted to find out is what incentives, similar to what he said, what incentives would you give for the prisoners in order for them to actually give you this information? Because chances are they're not going to want to speak to the police. They're not going to want to rat out people that are on the outside, because immediately when they come out, they're also in trouble. So what kind of incentives are you thinking of with your idea? Because what would make them want to tell the police or other people this kind of information?
In fact, when I was asked to come and present, I done a PowerPoint. I thought I was going to do a PowerPoint presentation, so I had all this information. What I thought was, what we can do is, because we've interacted with different kinds of offenders. You can imagine the kind of crimes that are committed in South Africa. So we've interacted with all of them. So what my idea was to actually make sure that we profile each and every offender and put them in one space. We have done like similar kind of crimes. And then we put them in one institution where we actually train them, upskill them, and make sure that we use them way after they even come out. For instance, a very good example, currently we have employed somebody that is coming from correctional facility, and they are doing very well. So these are some of the things that I was thinking around. Maybe give them opportunities to take them away from the very same things that put them inside. So employ them.
I agree from the Ray Foundation. I guess what we already want to know, Silver, is did you get your sound system back?
I did. I did get my sound system plus.
That is a major relief.
My name is Nomako Kumkada. I'm based at the Center for Learning on Evaluation and Results here at the university. My comment or question is directed to Silva. I was just reflecting on the fact that probably the information that you were given was also based on the relationship that you were having with those people for them to voluntarily support your cause. And I'm actually wondering if institutionalizing it would not take away a more, it seems to me it could be seen as a way of the prisoners finding a way to restore themselves by voluntarily supporting and helping you to get your car because of the relationship. I'm not sure if making it institutionalized would not take away that essence that it could help the prisoners say, I'm giving back to the community by giving you this information that would be able to then support the work so that there are no more crimes taking place, that kind of thing. I'm not sure.
I think for most of the guys that we've interacted with, it's not about even them thinking that this information will be used and I'm going to fall victim of this information. It's about them sitting there and actually getting to understand themselves and saying, I have done this and I think I need to change. Because most of our life skills is about making people aware of what has happened and who they are and making sure that they make a difference. And part of that is actually giving that information and saying use it, and as long as I have contributed towards making sure my community is safe. And myself as this person, I'm giving myself to that community to say I've wronged this community and I want to come back and contribute to this community in a positive way.